And we back at it again. Yo, we're back to the fight nights. UFC Fight Night this weekend. Jared Cannonier takes on Gregory Rodrigues. Who is going to win? I don't know. Let's get into this breakdown. Let's go. So like I said, we're back to the UFC Fight Nights. Jared Cannonier takes on Gregory Rodrigues this weekend. It's a pretty decent free card, if I'm being honest with you. I'm looking through, I'm kind of scoping it out here. I haven't really dove into it before, but you got Rodolfo Vieira going up against Andre Petrowski. That's definitely going to be some sort of submission in that fight. Then you got Israel Bonfim going up against Nazim Sadikov. You got Edmund Shabazian back at it again. He back in it against Dylan Budka. Then you got the return of Calvin Kattar. I haven't seen my boy Calvin in a minute. My boy Calvin is 36 now. What the fuck? Time went real quick. No, he's never been young type thing. But no, Calvin Kattar is back at it, and he is going up against Yusuf Zalal. So, simple as this for Calvin. Keep that motherfucking fight on the feet. Keep that shit on the feet. Box this man's ears out. Other than that, he gonna get subbed. Then we move on to that main event. Jared Cannonier versus Gregory Rodrigues. That's the main thing I'm breaking down, because I haven't really dove deep into this fight, to this card. Like I said, I haven't really gotten into it. But let's talk about Cannonier versus Gregory Rodrigues. The main thing about this is it's a fight that both of them need to win badly. Badly. When I say these guys need a win badly, right? For Cannonier, he needs a win badly because he's gatekeeping. He's gatekeeping this fight. You need the win. You're coming off of a tough loss. You got to get this W. Who did he just... I'm pretty sure the last loss was Nasruddin, right? No, he had back-to-back losses, right? So he's gatekeeping the last 3 fights, right? He's lost to Imavov, lost to Kyle Barallo, right? He don't want to gatekeep for Gregory Rodrigues too. He has to come in and get this W. But Gregory Rodrigues has got some stone hands, man. He has got some power in his punches, but he's not all that technically sound. I think Jared Cannonier is much more technically sound, but he has been getting clipped in his fights. You've seen him getting rocked. You've seen him get put in positions that you don't expect him to struggle in. If Jared goes in there like the same Jared that fought Derek Brunson, there's no problem. He'll get the W, right? But if he goes in there like the Jared in the last 2 fights where he's kind of just fighting off of his heart, fighting off his shield, he's going to end up losing again. I think he ends up getting knocked out early. But if he don't get knocked out early, I think he takes this 5 rounds. He gets himself a decision. It's not like Jared Cannonier is going to be boosting himself back into the title contention. But you never know. The middleweight division could run dry sometimes. But I don't see it ever happening. Gregory Rodrigues, on the other hand, he needs this win because he's on a 3-fight win streak. And if you get a win over Jared Cannonier, that pushes you to the next level. Now you're talking about top 5 guys. Now you're talking about breaking through. Who we going to put him up against next? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to find somebody. You got to find him another challenge. Jared Cannonier, to me, this could be like a make or break fight for him. If he doesn't win this fight, I truly could see Jared Cannonier retiring. I mean, he's 40 years old. He's not, he's not young. He's not, like I said, not going to be getting back to the title even if he does win. And going on a 4-fight losing streak, and you basically just gatekeeped all your fights, or you go on a 3-fight losing streak and you just gatekeep the last 3. Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want to be Neil Magny. Now, it's crazy Neil Magny has the most wins in the welterweight division. That is something. So if you're looking at the keys to victory for Jared Cannonier, looking for the keys to victory for Gregory Rodrigues, most of the time, one of the keys to victory for Jared Cannonier is his pressure, his explosiveness, and he has had moments in his career where that really worked out well for him. In this one, I don't think he should go in there with that type of game plan, with that type of style. Now, granted, you could always get something popping off in the first round and end up getting a finish. Anything can happen, right? It's the fight game. Anything can happen. But I would say overall, if Jared goes out there and tries to just be more technically sound, keep it tight, I think he should really work the leg kicks. He has fantastic leg kicks. When he gets to snapping them off against guys who don't check leg kicks, he has a good night. And I think he's going to have a good night against Gregory Rodrigues if he snaps them leg kicks. So he should work the leg kicks, try to keep the distance, keep moving, stay very, don't have a moment of staying still. Because I don't feel like Gregory Rodrigues is the type of fighter who can get that knockout while chasing you. I can see him getting countered. I can see him getting put in positions, right? When he lost to Armen Petrosyan, he was getting caught with a couple shots, from that type of stuff. It's just Jared Cannonier has to mix it up, keep him guessing, use the IQ, and just make Gregory Rodrigues work more than he's used to working so you can get him past 3 rounds. And once you get him past 3 rounds, then you can use that explosiveness, because I promise you after 3 rounds, Gregory Rodrigues will be gassing out. If I'm wrong, then it wouldn't be the fucking first time. Matter of fact, I'm never wrong. I'm just mistaken. Shout out to my boy Dave for that one. So yeah, who do I think is going to win? If it ends early, is Gregory Rodrigues getting his hand raised. If it's going 5, Jared Cannonier is going to get that W. That's just how I see it. It really does seem like everything's switching over now. It seems like changing of the guard is happening. Every guy that's next up is taking control. Ilya has done it. Dricus has done it. Right? Tatiana was the one that was supposed to do it against Zhang Weili. She couldn't get that done. But you also got, who else we got? The new generation, you can count Pantoja in that. Even though Pantoja's been fighting for a while, he's part of the crew of exciting champions. Unlike Bilal Muhammad, Alex Pereira, like dog. I got to make sure I break down next Saturday's card. It's not amazing or anything like that because a whole bunch of fights got canceled on this card, which probably would have made this card an absolute banger. But Henry Cejudo versus Song Yadong on February 22nd. Definitely got to do a breakdown for that. That's the main event. Co-main events, Brendan Allen versus Anthony Hernandez. Then you got a featherweight matchup between Jean Silva and Melsik Bagdasaryan. If I got that right, that's fucking incredible if I got that right. But Jean Silva is a dog, part of the Fighting Nerds, so definitely keep an eye out for him. I've been talking about him in a lot of podcasts. If you've been paying attention to me talking about the Fighting Nerds, he's one of them, and he's definitely an exciting fighter. So definitely keep an eye out for him. But this card was looking kind of good before, man. You had Rob Font and Dominic Cruz was supposed to happen. Edson Barbosa versus Steve Garcia was supposed to happen. Curtis Blades versus Rizvan Kuniev. Yeah. That could have been a pretty damn good card. Damn, how many fucking cancellations were on this card? That's 6. There was 6 cancellations on this card. That's crazy. Then after, you got another fight night. Obviously, we're back to back. I don't know. UFCs, right? We got a lot coming up. You got Manal Cape versus Asu Alamabayev. Manal Cape was supposed to be fighting Brandon Royval. I don't know if there's a curse of Manal Cape or something like that. But his opponents never make it to the fight, or he never makes it to the fight against his opponents. That's why he's always fighting guys that nobody's ever heard of before. Co-main events, Cody Brundage and Julian Marquez. Okay, we're skipping. Ooh, Nasrat versus Esteban Ribovics. Esteban Ribovics, if you remember, had that nasty knockout over Terrence McKinney. Also had that war against Daniel Zellhuber Sphere, the fight of the night. Yeah, he's definitely one to keep an eye out for. Damn, that card's trash. Then we get on to the next pay-per-view, UFC 313. Alex Pereira goes up against Magomed Ankalaev. Co-main event, Justin Gaethje, Dan Hooker. And then, why they keep doing this to us? I mean, this isn't awful, but damn. We got Bruno Silva versus Joshua Van. Amanda Lemos versus Yasmin Lucindo. Myron Santos versus Francis Marshall. Alex Morono versus Carlos Leal. Bruno Ferreira versus Armin Petrosian. That actually could be a scrap. Somebody's going to sleep in that one. Chris Gutierrez versus Jean Matsumoto. Jordan Santos versus Ozzy Diaz. I like this fight. King Green versus Mauricio Rufy. Another fighting nerd. Very fluent with his striking, bro, man. Very clean, very technical with his striking. But going up against Bobby Green, I know he changed his name to King Green, but it's hard for me so I've always known him as Bobby Green. You know what I mean? And got to make sure everybody knows that I'm talking about Bobby Green. So that fight could be a really interesting fight too. That could be a little bit of a scrap. That could be an interesting fight because the striking is going to be fun in that one. But Mauricio Rufy is a very fluent striker. I don't think he's crazy with the power, but he's very fluent. He can make you miss. He can land good shots. He's got good counters. He's an interesting one to watch out for. But that'll be a fun fight. And then that Curtis Blades versus Rizvan Kuniev is going to be on that card too. So that's crazy, man. This just keeps going. We got fights all the way until March 29th. So after 313, you got Vettori versus Dolidze. Then the next card is Edwards versus Jack Della Maddalena. Jan Blachowicz versus Carlos Ulberg. I love that card. That's the UK card. Then you got the one in March 29th, Brandon Moreno versus Steve Erceg. And then Kelvin Gastelum versus Joe Pyfer. We got bangers. They got to add a little bit more to these pay-per-views, though. I'm getting a little questionable. Summer better be stacked. That's all I'm saying. Summer better be stacked. From April on, from the good part of spring through the summer, better be stacked. Don't give me no bullshit. You know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification button so you know when the next episode is out. Your boy Bando's out. Peace. I'm going to enjoy my coffee now. Bitch.